The human Jesus. Jesus' dedication to the will of the Heavenly Father and to serving humanity was more than just a decision or a solid plan he made. It was a complete, heartfelt surrender of himself, a total gift of love without expecting anything in return. He gave himself to people, and people belong to him. But it's really a shame that religion sometimes gets so twisted that the human Jesus slips out of sight. Don't let all those debates about whether he was human or divine hide the simple truth. Jesus of Nazareth was a religious man. Through his faith, he figured out what God wanted and then actually went and did it. He was the most truly religious person who ever lived on earth. Jesus of Nazareth doesn't need to keep being sacrificed to this grand idea of a glorified Christ, no matter how beautiful it sounds. Oh people, when are you going to let go of that old-school theology from ancient times? The living Jesus should be front and center in the church that carries his name, and every religion ought to recognize the truth of his life. Every believer should shake off the confusion and not hesitate to adjust their faith and their way of living to follow Jesus. And following Jesus just means this: living with real religious devotion, sincerely seeking the will of the Heavenly Father, and selflessly serving others. Is institutionalized Christianity may be afraid that their traditional authority might wobble or even collapse if the Jesus of Galilee becomes the ideal for personal religious living. Because honestly, if the living religion of Jesus suddenly replaced the theological religion about him, it would radically transform the Christian world, causing a total social and religious revolution. Following Jesus means personally sharing his religious faith and embracing the spirit of his selfless life by serving others. The biggest truths you can uncover in life is what Jesus believed and what his ideals were. But just knowing that isn't enough. If you don't live it out, you're still only serving yourself instead of God. Paul got that when he wrote, "If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels but have not love, I'm nothing more than a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal." Out of all human knowledge, knowing the religious life of Jesus and how he lived it is the most valuable. Back in the day, ordinary people received the example of Jesus' life and his message with joy, and the ordinary people of today will listen again if they were told about his genuine human life filled with religious motivation, and the true meaning of what is wrapped up in the confusing concept of kingdom of heaven. Sooner or later, these truths will be proclaimed to the world again. Those who believe in the kingdom shouldn't try to literally copy Jesus' outer life in the flesh, but they should share his faith, trusting God the way he did and believing in people the way he did. Just as people move from a sense of the human to an awareness of the divine, Jesus climbed from human nature to the consciousness of God's nature. He made that huge leap from human to divine by combining the faith of his mortal mind with the work of his indwelling adjuster, the divine inner force that transformed him. He did this by aligning his own will completely with the will of his Heavenly Father.